All right, this is our measurement test corrections. Please make sure that you write everything down that I write down in red and you're using a red pen. Number one, it says angle TUV is shown on the protractor. What is the measure of angle TUV to the nearest degree? So we have T is at 170 and V is at 110. We look at it, we know it's an acute angle, so that's going to help us make a determination. Then we have 170 minus 110. 0 minus 0 is 0, 7 minus 1 is 6, 1 minus 1 is 0. So 60 degrees is an acute angle because acute is less than 90. So that makes sense. So number 1 is B. Number 2 says, what is the measure of angle RST to the nearest degree? So this is another acute angle. So let's write that down. Oops, it's not a very good T. And then R is going through 50 degrees and T is going through 90 degrees. So if we take 90 minus 50, 0 minus 0 is 0. Now minus 5 is 4. So then we have 40 degrees. Number 3, it says angle CBD measures 43 degrees. So right here, this angle. Angle ABC measures 32 degrees, which is right here. What does angle ABD measure? So we know the two small angles. So in order to find the big angle, we're going to add these two together. So 32 plus 43. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 4 is 7. So then this should have been 75 degrees. And on your, when you typed it in, you didn't have to write degrees. Number 4, which angle appears to have a measure of 95 degrees? Okay, so let's look. So this one is on 180 and on 90. So this angle is 90 degrees. Okay, then let's look here. So this angle is on 85 and then 95. And so 95 minus 85 looks like 0. Oops, sorry, I can't see that. 5 minus 5 is 0, 9 minus 8 is 1. So that looks like 10 degrees. Okay, and again, we're looking for 95 degrees. Okay, now let's look here. So this one's going through 180. And then this one's going through 90s here and 100s here. So this looks like, could be 95, but I like to check all of the answers. And it looks like a couple of them are on the next page. So I'm going to turn to the next page. Oh, actually just one. So let's look here at answer choice D. And it says, okay, we've got this one at 105. And then this over here is at 10. So then 105 minus 10. So 5 minus 0 is 5. And then 10 minus 1 is 9. And 0 minus 1 you can't do, borrow, but it's still 10 minus 1. So D is 95. So let's go back and look and see what the question's asking us. So it says, which angle appears to have a measure of 95 degrees? So let's go back and look at C, and let's try to figure out. Okay, so this looks like it's falling on 95 degrees, but let's look. Does this look, 95 degrees is above 90. So would you agree that it's an obtuse angle? Yes, it should be an obtuse angle. So let's look. If it's supposed to be an obtuse angle, then wouldn't this be over here? Wouldn't it be greater than 90? So that's why it can't be C, because even though that looks like the measurement for 95, 95 is an obtuse angle, and that's not making an obtuse angle. So let's go back and look at D. 95 is an obtuse angle. Does that look like an obtuse angle? Yes. So the best answer choice is going to be D. Number 5. Angle SRT has a measure of 35. So SRT is right here. So this is 35. And then it says TRV right here is 65. So then it says, what is the measure of SRV? So we know the two small angles, so we have to find the large angle. So we have 65 plus 35. So 5 plus 5 is 10, carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. So it's 100 degrees, which is D. Okay, that was 5. So 6 is up here. So it says angle R is shown on the protractor below. So here's angle R. It says that choose the correct answer for each drop-down menu to complete this statement. The measure of angle R to the nearest degree is what? Okay, so let's see. So this one is going through 40. Oh, and if I look, this looks like an obtuse angle. So I'm gonna write that over here to the side because that kind of helps me make my decision too. And then this one is at 170. Okay. So if I take 170 minus 40, then I'm going to get 130. But I'm going to go over here to this side and show y'all. 170 minus 40. 0 minus 0 is 0. 7 minus 4 is 3. 1 minus nothing is 1. So I get 130 degrees. So I'm going to circle 130. And then how did I get that? Well, I took 170 and I subtracted 40 to get 130. So it's going to be this first answer choice right here. Number 7. If an angle measures 33 degrees, what is its complement? So complementary means the sum is 90. So something plus 33 gives me 90 degrees. Well, how do I figure out what that something, which right here would be? I'm going to take 90 minus 33. Can't do 0 minus 3, so I'm going to have to borrow. That becomes 8, and then this becomes 10. So 10 minus 3 is 7, and 8 minus 3 is 5. So then its complement angle would be 57 degrees, which is B. And then down here at the very bottom, 8, says which angles appear to have a measure of 160 degrees. So like 2 answers. So I gotta remember to select 2 answers. So it looks like A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so it looks like it's divided up here. So let's see, we're trying to get to 160. So this is on 180, and this is on 160. So does this look like, this could be 160 degrees, and it looks like an obtuse angle. Okay, now let's go down here. This is on 180, and this is on 160 and 20, but look, this is an acute angle, so it has to be 20 degrees. So this is not what we're looking for. Okay, let's go down here, and we've got 160, and then we've got 20. So 160 minus 20. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 6 minus 2 is 4. 1 minus nothing is 1, so 140. So no, it's not B or C. Okay, let's go to this other side. So D, we have an obtuse angle, and then this looks like 170. Oops, hang on. Gotta hold the paper. And then this looks like 10. So 170 minus 10 would give me 160, but I'll show you just so you believe me. 0 minus 0 is 0. 7 minus 1 is 6. 1 minus nothing is 1, okay? And here, this looks like an acute angle, but I have 40 and 20, and 40 minus 20 is going to give me 20. So it looks like the best answer choices are going to be D and A, because remember it said to pick 2. All right, number 9 on the next page. Number 9 says, Lucero drew the angles below. She knew the measure of angle X is angle W is 42 degrees. Okay, and the measure of angle X is 28 degrees. What is Y? Okay, now it doesn't tell us what this whole angle is, but it gives us a hint. and that hint is that it's a right angle. So we're going to have a two-step problem here. So we have 42 plus 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then if we have 90, which is the whole angle, and we're still looking for this missing part, then we're going to take 90 minus 70. 0 minus 0, 0. Now minus 7 is 2. And we're going to get 20 degrees, which is B. Okay, number 10. It says which angle measures 130 degrees. And then it's giving us MQN. So here's MQN. So 130 is going to be an obtuse angle. So we have to remember that also, okay? So MQN is right here. And this looks acute. And so it looks like it would be about 60 degrees. So not A. Then we have NQO. So NQO. This looks like an acute angle. And we have 120 minus 50. 0 minus 0 is 0. 12 minus 5 is 7. So nope, not B. MQO. MQO. So this one's at 180 and this one's at 130, and that is an obtuse angle. So it's probably this one, but let's check NQP. So NQP. So this is through 120 and this is through 180. So then this will be 120. So then it for sure is C. Number 11 says, what is the measure of angle DBC? So DBC. So again, we have an acute angle. And then we have D at 90 and C is at 120. So we have 120 minus 90. 0 minus 0. 12 minus 9. 9, 10, 11, 12, 3. So this one is 30 degrees. Number 12. And if an angle measures 32 degrees, which angle would be its supplement? Remember, supplement means the sum is 180. So something plus 32 equals 180. So again, how do we find what that something is? Well, we're going to work backwards. So we're going to subtract 180 minus 32. Can't do 0 minus 2, so I'm going to borrow. That becomes 7. That becomes 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 7 minus 3 is 4. And 1 minus nothing is 1. So 148 degrees, C. Okay, then 13. It says, what is the measure of angle LMN to the nearest degree? Okay, so this one's on 180. And then, so it's an obtuse angle. So right away, I can tell that's not going to be correct. And so we have this one on 180 and this one on 15. So let's take 180 minus 15. So 0 minus 5, so that's 10, 7. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 1 is 6. 1 minus nothing is 1. So 165 degrees. Okay, almost done. Number 14 says, in math class, Ms. Smith drew these angles on the board. Which pair of angles is supplementary? So supplementary means that two of them add up to 180 degrees. So let's see. I've got 135 plus 45. Let's try that one. 5 plus, oh, actually, yeah, C and F. 5 plus 5 is 10. 7, 8, and 1. Oh, look, we got it on the first try. Awesome. A. 15. In the diagram, angle BAE has been decomposed into 3 small angles. What is the measure of CAD? So this is another two-step problem. So we know 25 plus 75, which gives us 3 plus 7, which is 100. And then 180 minus 100 is going to give us 80. So our answer is 80 degrees. That was confusing, I know, because of that. 16 says ray BC has been drawn on the protractor as shown. To construct an angle of 100 degrees, what other angle can pass through that point? So this one's at 20. So we've got to come up with something that if we subtract from 100, we're going to get 20, which would be right here, E, because 120 minus 20 is going to give us 100. All right, please make sure that this gets turned back into your math teacher.